Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Peter and we have come to the end of the 30-day blog challenge, which I started back on the 18th of December last year. When I started the 30-day blog challenge, I did it for a number of reasons. And so here they are. Number one, I wanted to be of value to others. I also wanted to increase traffic to my blog because my blog was actually quite new. I had only set it up in November, or actually no, October. It was December that I started the blog challenge, and I really wanted to get lots of content in my blog and get things nicely populated. And I also wanted to learn how to write well and improve my writing skill. I wanted to make new blogger friends, to be around other writers as well and learn from other experienced bloggers and pro bloggers. I also wanted to learn how to monetize the blogs. So I've only read about how other bloggers actually, how their blog actually makes money for them even while they're sleeping. So I wanted to learn how to do that. And I wanted to create a habit of publishing new content every single day. And I also wanted to experience what it was like to have high engagement. Let's dive a little deeper in on each of those points. I wanted to be of value to other people, and I wanted to use the blog as a means to share my learning. One of the things about the blog is that it's a place for me to share what I'm learning. But also when I learn something, I actually use the blog to revise the things that I've actually recently learned. The next point was I wanted to increase traffic to my blog. And as I said, my blog was only set up in October 2015, and I needed to get lots of content in my blog very quickly. I knew that this 30-day blog challenge was a very good way for me to create really good quality content every single day, and also get lots of readers on my website, make the blog come to life. And I also wanted to get traffic into my blog from Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and social channels like that. That's proven to be quite successful. You can see a lot of them came from Facebook, and some of them came from Twitter and other places. No organic traffic just yet. That'll happen probably in time. The other thing is I wanted to learn how to write well. So as part of that, I also did a copywriting course, like a really short course online. It's very, very interesting how learning a skill like copywriting can completely change the quality of the message. The other thing I learned as well is about how to write a really well-crafted headline. A lot of people actually will skip reading a blog after reading the headline. If the headline doesn't pull them in, then pretty much lost a potential reader. So it's really important to get the headline right. Another thing I learned was to write like I would be talking to one of my friends. So the language and the tone and all that kind of stuff is more natural. So it's not like it's very technical or cold. There was a real connection to the reader. The next point was that I wanted to make new friends who are also bloggers or writers, so I could learn from them. And I was lucky that I stumbled across a network of other really prolific writers, and these guys come up with amazing content every single day. I learned a hell of a lot from them, and a lot of them I met on Facebook itself. I also learned that this network of bloggers, they actually reciprocate comments and shares. It's like a network of friends who comment on each other's blogs, as well as they share the blogs that they enjoyed on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and Pinterest. And all that sharing on Twitter, Facebook, all those social channels mean a big deal when it comes to search engine optimization and how Google will give higher priority ranking for those kind of websites that are obviously shared across a number of social channels. The next thing I also wanted to learn was how to monetize my blog. I learned how it's important to understand who your niche of your blog is, like who's the niche group, getting as specific as possible. I also learned how to craft a really clear call to action at the end of each blog post, or even multiple times throughout the blog post, how it's important to ask the reader to do something. I also learned how it's very important for the sake of monetization to make sure that you're using the right keywords, choosing the right keywords in your blog post for the sake of search engine optimization, so that if someone happened to do a search in Google or wherever for a particular set of keywords and your article or your blog post has those keywords, then that means that new reader will come onto your website and read your article, which is very important to get traffic and getting your message out to as many people as possible. The other thing I learned as well is about creating content that's really good value. You have to create content that is of real value to the readers. At the end of the day, the readers don't really give a crap about you. They really come to your blog to have a question answered, to have some kind of problem solved. If my article, if my blog post doesn't answer their question or doesn't solve their problem in some way, then they'll just leave and never come back. So that's one of the things I learned. It's actually creating articles, creating blog content that's of real, genuine value, because that's how you have repeat, almost like missionary readers who come back and spread and share your content organically to all their friends and or their network. The next thing I also wanted to do was to form a new habit of creating content or publishing new content daily. Part of this is also planning or having a writing calendar or a writing schedule, something I really didn't do well, but I actually had a lot of articles that I drafted and had in the bank, you could call it. I just had lots of articles lined up, and it was just a matter of me going in and editing, publishing them. But I did have a fair few articles written and kept in the back end that I'd never really published. And the last thing I wanted to do was experience a blog with high engagement, have lots of comments left on my article, getting feedback and all that kind of stuff. I was fortunate to somehow stumble upon a group of bloggers that I mentioned who each reciprocate and comment on each other's blogs. It was a very satisfying experience to wake up the next morning and see, getting notifications of 10, 20, 30 comments left on a particular blog post, and then jumping on and actually responding to all those comments. Another thing it taught me was it's not all about getting lots of traffic onto my blog. It's about getting quality traffic on each particular post. I'd rather have 5 readers a day come onto my blog and genuinely get good value from it and hang around on the blog and learn as much as they can, than getting 100 people on the blog every day, skipping through and just leaving without ever coming back. So that's all for now. If you found this video of value, do remember to like, comment and share it, and remember, together we are better.